You're not winning because you're not executing. You're not executing. If you want to win, you gotta execute. Plain simple. You're not winning because welcome back to the League of Hustlers. I'm your co-host HT,
I'm CD Barnes.
and you're not winning because you're not executing. We've been talking about this whole dream stream strategy, right? And we're at part six. At part six, and we named this one simple word in part six of the dream stream strategy, and that's simply execute. Execute. Super simple, right? Just to jump right into it, little reminder about what we've been doing. And first, who we are, right? It's the League of Hustlers, baby. Okay. First and foremost, we talk about mindset and financial freedom on this channel. Simple as that. Of course, this is an award-winning podcast, and this is our third season. And this season is all about the Dream Stream strategy. Just to give you a recap of what it is. It's an easy-to-follow workbook that walks you through creating, mastering, and maintaining multiple sources of income. It helps you define achievable dreams, all right? Choose your perfect opportunity, plan your strategy, and systemize your success so that you can enjoy the life of your dreams. Simple as that, right? We created this strategy because everybody talks about that you need to have multiple sources of income, but nobody talks about how to actually do it. Through our conversations with tons of people, online, offline, on the channel, off the channel, we came up with this strategy where you can design a life of your dreams, okay, and systemize it so that you can have multiple streams coming in, okay? That's the whole premise of this, right? 10-step formula. We've already covered visualize success, part 1. Part 2, take an account. Part 3, bridging the gap. Part 4, selecting your opportunity. Part 5, which we just covered, plan, plot, and strategize. And now we're on part 6. Okay, let's give them a brief rundown, bro, of what was in part 1.
So if you missed it, part 1, we start with visualizing success. All right, you need to first, you're just going to sit down and you need to kind of map out your destination. Where do you want to be? Simple as that. Next, we're going to take account. All right, you need to take account for where you are right now. You need to understand why you're there. If it's somewhere you don't want to be, what decisions got you there. All right. Next, bridging the gap. All right. We know where we want to go. We know where we are. Now we need to kind of fill that difference. This is a big step right here, but that's kind of the, big rundown of it is just measuring that difference. That's important because it gives you the information that you need for the next step, which is selecting your opportunity. All right. You need to choose the appropriate vehicle for bridging that gap. All right. So that's what select your opportunity is about. Next up, we talked about plan, plot, strategize. After you choose your opportunity, you're going to create the blueprint for how you're going to build, you're going to run this whole stream. All right. And then that brings us to today's topic, where after we get the blueprint down packed, after we understand everything, now it's time to actually get to work. And that's what we're talking about today, which is execute. Execute. Bullet point 1, you see it, where the rubber hits the road. All right. And it's as simple as that, man. Execute. So in the previous step, we laid down everything that you need to basically all the resources. We identified all the resources. We identified who you need to get in contact. We identified all your channels of revenue. We identified everything in the previous stage of plan, plot, and strategize. But now it's time to actually execute all of that. Now, a lot of people, they can make it up to this point. A lot of people can make it to this point right here, but this is where the work needs to be done, and you're going to have to be consistent. You're not going to execute just one day and then you think all this stuff is going to happen. You may need to execute this thing, and it may take you a whole year. It may take you 12 months. It may
Right.
take you 18 months. It could take you 24 months. It might take you 4 years, depending on what your goal was, how big that initial goal was. So just keep that in mind, man.
Yeah, man. Execute. Execute. This is where it's no more excuses. It's no more excuses, right? You've done all the steps up to this point. You've planned it out, right? You've set a goal of where you want to be, right? You've taken account where you are, right? Like CD was saying, you've gone through all of those preliminary steps that leads up to this simple point. And this is where a lot of people simply fail, right? They fail to execute, right? Some people get analysis paralysis. I'm guilty of that a lot of times, right? I'll analyze an opportunity like so many different ways to the point where you don't take action. You know what I mean? Long story short. And so at the end of the day, though, when I've had the most success is when I just execute it. You just have to execute, man. I don't. I can't put it any simpler. That's why we named this section one word. Just simply execute. Every day, execute. Right. Set the goals. You planned it out. Right. If you didn't watch the previous episode, go watch that. We talked about um, planning, plotting, and strategizing. Right. So you come up with your plan. You come up with your plot. You've come up with your strategy. Now you just have to execute the plan. All right. You have to execute the strategy, right? One quick side note, with all of these sections, there are worksheets that go with each section. So make sure you get on the list. Go to leagueofhustlers.com, go to shop.leagueofhustlers.com, put your email address in, and you'll be the first to know when we release the Dream Stream strategy. Not released yet, but well, maybe it is when you're watching this episode. Who knows? But make sure you get on the list so that way you'll be plugged in for when we release it. That way you'll have access to it. Okay. So with each one of these sections, there is a worksheet. It's a whole workbook. That's what the Dream Stream strategy is. And so that every time you create a new hustle, right, you'll have this workbook to follow step by step. All right. This formula is tried and true. Ask anyone if these steps are important to building and maintaining multiple streams of income, and they'll say, yep, 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 yep. They'll go right down the list. Okay. We've systematically put this together so that it can help you and us. It was kind of a selfish thing, right? You know what I mean? So for me, it's something that I can follow when I'm trying to create a new stream of income. Okay. But with each one, just understand there are worksheets to go with it. So last one, it is the business model canvas, all right, that we took and modified a little bit so that it's relevant to what we do as entrepreneurs. Okay. And it talks about your value proposition, talks about your target market, talks about all of these different things and steps that you want to map out. And once you have it mapped out, you just simply have to execute. You have the plan, right, that you need to do. Now you just got to execute. It's you have to put all the BS excuses aside. You have to understand that hurdles are gonna arise. Stuff is gonna pop up. Okay. Things are not gonna go smoothly, but you have to have it set in your mind that you're going to execute. All right. That's it. That's the key right there. Have it set in your mind that you are going to execute. Right?
Yep. A quick way, if you need help get into this, make a task list. All right. In the previous step, all right, you made out the blueprint. Each day you wake up, or the previous night before the morning, you need to make your task list of things that you need to execute on the next day that are going to help you move along the process. As simple as that. You win the day when you check off everything on your checklist, anything that
Right.
you don't get to that day rolls over to the next day. And just continue on adding things to the list and checking things off of the list until you reach your destination. It's as simple as that, guys. All right. Key point
Sir.
in this key point in this whole episode right here is execute. All right. Put your Nikes on and just do it. Whatever it is that applies to your lane, get to it. It's your goal. Nobody else is going to do it except for you. So get to it.
That's it. And that last point is have that I can do all things. This, one of my favorite scriptures is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Have that mentality. Why? Because you can, right? You can. Somebody else did it. Somebody else, you did the research and you saw that somebody else was able to do it, right? And you're following, the blueprint. So why can't you do it? Don't underestimate your ability. Don't underestimate your power, right? Don't underestimate your ability to accomplish your goals. And that's it for this episode. Anything else, bro?
That's it. Hit the shop.leagueofhustle.com. Subscribe, stay tuned. All right, get those downloads. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, and comment on this video. All right, and we'll catch you guys next time. League of Hustlers, we are out.
Yeah.